Hello, hello, hello. Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Wealthy Wednesdays. We're on week 3 of Wealthy Wednesdays, and we are very happy to be here with you.
Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to everybody joining us in Wealthy Wednesdays. What are we talking about today, Tiffy?
Well, we're going to talk about money. We're specifically going to talk a little bit about the money workbook, which we'll tell you a little bit more about. But we really wanted to look at, last week we kind of talked about wealth a little bit, and really this idea of like, what is wealth and what is wealth to you? And so this week we wanted to talk a little bit about money. So shall I get us started, Viv, or did you have somewhere where you wanted to start?
No, you go for it, Tiff.
Okay, cool. So this is we've got a couple of little snippets that we wanted to share with you from the How to Become Money workbook, which is a workbook that Viv and I have both worked through many times, and it's really changed a lot for both of us and really changed our reality with money and wealth. So we wanted to share a little bit with you. So what is money? Well, some of you think money is gold. Some of you think money is cars. Some of you think money is houses. Some of you think money is energy exchange. Some of you think it's a medium of exchange. Notice each of those points of view is a solidity. Money is only energy. There is nothing in the world, nothing that is not energy. If you look at your lives and you think you have not enough money, you're really saying to the angels that sit with you, that assist you, you're telling them that you do not need additional money. You do not need energy. In truth, you do not need, you are energy, and you have no limited supply of it at all. You have more than enough energy to do everything you desire in your life, but you do not choose to create yourself as money, as energy, as power.
Boom. And just to give you a little bit of background on this book, Gary Douglas, who is the founder of Access Consciousness, actually channeled this book, I guess you could say that. And it was the very first book that he wrote. And this was 30 odd years ago, or maybe a bit longer now, but the tools in this book and the information is still, blowing people's hair back, changing people's realities. And it's so simple. And the workbook is exactly that. It helps you work through it and work through anything that's stopping you from having what it is you truly desire with money. So I just wanted to pick up on that part after you said, because it's like that line, Tiff, but you do not choose to create yourselves as money, as energy, as power. And power is one of these words and energies that gets such a bad rap. It's like we see people using power over or using it as authority or control. And the next paragraph goes, what is power to you? For most of you, power is about overwhelming another, or it's about controlling another, or it's about controlling your life, or putting controls in your life, or controlling your financial reality. So I just want to add a little bit more to that, because he talks a bit further down here about what power is. Now you'll become power. And to do that, hang on, sorry, I've jumped a bit. Do you want to, here we go. First of all, you must become power. Power is not sitting on top of another. Power is controlling. Sorry, power is not controlling. Power is energy. Unlimited, expansive, growing, magnificent, glorious, fabulous, exuberant, and quick energy. It is everywhere. There is no diminishment of self in energy. There is no diminishment of self in power. There is no diminishment of another. When you are being power, you are totally self. And when you are self, you are being energy. And as energy, all is connected to you, which means unlimited supplies of money are connected as well. And if that didn't fry your brain, after we jump off the live, go back and re-listen to that again. Because if you really get present with unlimited, expansive, growing, magnificent, glorious, fabulous, exuberant, and quick energy, That is what true power is. So shall we just tease that open a bit more, Tiff, and kind of just explore that a bit more?
Yeah, I would love to. I just wanted to quickly go back to something you said before you started to read from the How to Become Money workbook. And you said it's so simple, and it is, but it's so different. Like, you know, to be able to have money and wealth, you have to be able and willing to be it.
Yeah.
And it's like when you hear that, you're like, what the hell does that mean? How do I be
Whoop.
money? How do I be wealth? But the thing is, you cannot have it unless you're willing to be it. So this workbook steps you through this amazing, simple process that creates something so very different than what we've been taught about how money works. And I think what a lot of us have been taught about how money works is what makes it so elusive to so many of us, because we just can't figure it out, or we just can't, even get like, we can't even be congruent within ourselves about what we desire with it. It's like, for how many people, have you guys had this kind of experience of like wanting more money, but not wanting to become what it is that you think you might become if you had it? And so we have these conflictual kind of ideas and realities and points of view within us that make it very difficult for money to be easy in our lives. So this workbook steps us through something that creates a very different way of being with money and invites you to become money, which allows you to have money in a very different way.
Thank you, Tiff, because that's just so elegantly put. And I know personally, I don't know, I would probably count, no kidding, I would count 10 different financial workshops, masterclasses, whatever you want to call them, that I did prior to discovering this book. And it was all about the strategies and the formulas and the computations, the mathematics and the spreadsheets, and, which is good information, but it still wasn't changing. It still wasn't changing, no matter how I knew that stuff inside out and back to front, like the back of my hand. It was the energetic component that was missing. It was my energetic relationship and my judgments and separations that I'd created from money. And yet I knew something greater was possible. And I'm so grateful I didn't give up, because discovering this book, that becoming power, where it can be this very quick energy where you ask for something and it shows up, you start to actualize money into your reality in a very different way. So for me, this was the absolutely magical missing information and way of being, like you said, Tiff, way of being with money that actually allowed me to be at one with it, rather than it being separate from me. And I was always chasing after it, thinking it was something, like you say, elusive. It was this external source. No, you be what it is that you desire to pull in. And yet when you've got so many judgments or so many hang-ups or wrongness or points of view around it, you're constantly repelling it. You're pushing it away while asking for it at the same time. It's like having your foot on the accelerator and foot on the brake. So what is power? What is being power? What is power for all of you? For you watching, it's like, take that question. It's like, what is power? If I was truly being power, what would that be like for me? Because again, this is not a formula. It's not a how-to. It's not a step 1, step 2, step 3. It's you having these awarenesses and these tools and gifts to open this incredible universe to becoming money, being money. And then there is no separation. There's no disconnect between you and your ability to be that energy that invites more and more and more of it in. And that's when you ask and things can show up at lightning speed. Money does start to flow into your world as if you've turned a tap on. So yeah, what is power? Ask this question, ponder it. What is, if I was truly being power, what would it be like for me?
Yeah. And you mentioned some of the things that this is not, and this is not a thought process. you know, and again, that's where so many of us have been taught to function from with money, is, you know, thinking our way into it, thinking our way out of it, thinking our way into finding out what it is that will give us the money, the wealth. But this is not a thought process. This is a set of energetic exercises that just create something totally different. So we wanted to share a little snippet with you. And, you know, there are a lot of people whose realities have been changed by doing this workbook. Yeah. Oh, you've got a confession, haven't you? You've got to be quick, though. We've got like 3 minutes.
Yeah, I do have a confession. First and foremost, I'm going to show you that for those of you that are familiar with this book, I actually have an old copy of this book. Where is it there? How to Become Money Workbook by Gary M. Douglas. And I became a millionaire using this book. And as true as I'm sitting here, when I first discovered this book and the Tools of Access Consciousness, I had $42 to my name. I was age 42 and I had $42 to my name. I've seen a few more moons between then and now, but this book is something I revisit on a regular basis. And I heard Gary Douglas say recently, you know what? You want to be doing this book every 2 weeks for 6 months if you truly desire to change your reality. And if any of you watching have actually started this book and not finished it, or forgotten about it, or you've gotten halfway through the questions and given up, I hear you. It is a very loaded topic. So, you know, it is the most phenomenal book. And you can get this on Kindle, I believe, Tiff. Is that right?
Yeah, you can get it on, it's available on Kindle, it's available on hard copy through the Access Consciousness website, accessconsciousness.com, and it's also available on Audible as an audiobook too. So
yeah, if
we'll add some links in the post as well if you want to grab a copy. It's it's a good one.
So there, I'm free now. I've confessed.
Yay!
And it's amazing how long I kept that hidden for, but it's, just even saying that right now, and it's like, okay, this is public. I haven't actually fully claimed on and acknowledged that. So thank you for this space.
Wow. That's so amazing. And, you know, I think you're not the only one either who has had that kind of success. So it's, it's, and isn't that funny that, you know, you kind of have this confession, right? You get to the place where you've almost, because I've spoken to you about this and we've spoken about this lately quite a lot, and the places where you've been like, oh, I don't know if I want to tell people. I don't know if I want to come out and say that, because again, there's all of these weird things that we have around money of you're not supposed to talk about it, you're not supposed to admit you have it, you're not supposed to want it, you know, all of this crazy stuff. So look, we Viv and I are actually doing a class, which is the How to Become Money Workbook class. It's where we will over how long are we doing it over?
Did we end up doing 2 times a week for 5 weeks?
Yeah, so it's
like 10 calls in all. 10
calls. It's 10 calls where we go through this. We go through these energetic exercises with you. We also facilitate you based on things that are coming up for you personally with money. And we really invite you to a totally different reality and possibility with money and wealth with this. So we would love you to join us if you would like to. We start in May, sort of towards the end of May. And you'll see stuff about it everywhere, but we'll also pop a registration link in the comments too at some point in case you might like to join us.
And join us next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, same time as today, for the next Wealthy Wednesdays, where we have the most amazing, brave, courageous beings stepping into the hot seat for some live facilitation. So if you'd like to be a voyeur and receive the change that our brave volunteer is going to go through, then join us next Wednesday. Same time, same place.
And if you'd like to put yourself forward to be one of the ones who's chosen to be in the hot seat, because we've got a few weeks left of Wealthy Wednesdays, Again, there will be a link to a form that you can fill out where you just need to put in your details, just your email address, your name, and let us know what it is that you would like to receive a session about around money. And you may be chosen to be on with us 1 week for a short session. So
what are we waiting for? We're not anymore. Let's get wealthy. Thank you, Tiffy.
Yay!
Awesome conversation.
Thanks,
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.